BBC News, 7th of March 2023, after political pressure, Canada's Trudeau opens investigations into Chinese electoral interference. Because he had accepted a sizable donation from Chinese sponsors, Trudeau did not want to start his campaign in China. According to Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, an impartial special rapporteur will look into claims that China meddled in recent elections. The designated investigator will examine classified reports regarding the federal elections in 2019 and 2021 and make suggestions for subsequent elections. Leaders of opposing political parties have demanded a public investigation. China has denied any electoral interference, calling the allegations purely baseless and defamatory. Speaking to reporters on Parliament Hill in Ottawa on Monday, Mr. Trudeau said the reports challenging Canada's sovereignty are alarming and strike us to our very heart as Canadians. According to Mr. Trudeau, I will appoint an impartial special rapporteur with broad authority and knowledgeable advice on thwarting interference and bolstering our democracy. He stated that the nomination of the rapporteur has not yet been made and will be made in the upcoming days. Additionally, Mr. Trudeau stated that he would request that the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians, NSICOP, initiate an investigation into foreign interference and submit its findings to Parliament. He continued by saying that Canada has long been conscious of China's, Iran's, and Russia's attempts at meddling. The nations have tried to interfere not only in our democracy but our country in general, along with several other non-state actors. This issue is not brand new, he claimed. Based on leaks from Canadian intelligence sources, several articles in the Globe and Mail newspaper and broadcaster Global News in recent weeks outlined alleged attempts by China's Communist Party to meddle in the country's last two federal elections. Chinese authorities have dismissed the claims as hype and pure baseless and defamatory. Conservative politicians have openly acknowledged that they were aware of interference in the 2021 election and think it cost them several seats, though not enough to alter the outcome, which Mr. Trudeau's Liberals won with a 41-seat margin. According to a national study released last week, attempts to influence the outcome of the 2021 federal election were unsuccessful. The New Democrats and the Conservatives, two federal minority parties, have pushed for an independent and public investigation into the accounts. In reaction to Mr. Trudeau's announcement, the New Democrats criticized the NSICOP committee probe, saying it was not an acceptable substitute for a public inquiry. According to Peter Julian of the New Democrats, the best way to stop foreign players from acting covertly is to refuse to keep their secrets. The statement made by Mr. Trudeau was dubbed a cover-up by the Liberals to avoid accountability, according to Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre. In response to critics, Mr. Trudeau stated that the rapporteur could suggest a public inquiry. He declared that the choice was one of the officials' first duties after being chosen and that we would follow their advice. Mr. Trudeau added, "I know there are people out there who don't think this is enough. I understand, so we're delegating more work to an unbiased party." The Federal Royal Canadian Mounted Police announced on Monday that they had started an inquiry into how details about the alleged interference reached Canadian news organizations. According to a survey conducted by the Angus Reid Institute and published last week, 65% of Canadians think Beijing tried to influence both recent federal elections. Additionally, 2/3 of Canadians agreed that the federal government should take additional measures to thwart Chinese spies from interfering with elections.